I do a lot of talks about VR, as you know, because we talked about it. And I look back at, like, I think it's generational, right? So 150 years ago, you want to see a show or a film or a play, or whatever, a story, you go and see live actors on a stage, right? Then someone started filming those live actors, projecting it on a wall in a dark room where you all sit down, face the same direction. 150 years ago, people thought that sounded stupid, right? Why would you want to do that? You really, there's live actors. You go and see them. Why do I want to sit in a dark room facing the same direction? That seems fine to us.
Yeah.
Like, we're totally indoctrinated
we
in
prefer it
cinema.
to the live, actually.
No one really go on a generational demographic level. No one's really interested in theater anymore.
Yeah.
People love cinema.
I love theater, actually. But
we're we're cultured, But the general audience, so it appears, wants film. So I'm putting this out there that maybe the same thing is going to happen with live performance. Like, right now, you can pay to see Lady Gaga in a show. She'll probably be half a mile away, and you're really watching her on a big giant screen. But you can do that if you want, or you could see her hologram. Now, to us, it sounds alien. To an 8-year-old who's brought up on seeing holograms, it's like you go to Broadway to see the play, but every week you can go and see a hologram.
Makes a lot of sense. I'm wondering, and you're obviously at the very edge of the field. Is this something like the progression in media and technology, and now VR is the leading edge? Are there people actively thinking about the next wave of these experiences, or do some of them happen kind of accidentally as we generally evolve?
It's people definitely. There's some early adopters of the technology, so there's some really savvy artists. It's a band I'm a huge fan of and have worked with in different permutations called the Gorillas. Now they're virtual already, right? So they don't exist. So in terms of how do they play live? Well, they've always had to be using this technology.
I thought that was so weird when I first heard about.
Yeah,
what they're doing. What do you mean they're not?
They don't exist, right? And then suddenly they're on performing at the Grammys with Madonna and they're holographic. So certain bands are kind of trailblazers either by default because there's no other way of seeing them, or Daft Punk, for example. Their identity is sort of hidden, so they're already
back.
A superhero version. Yeah. Well, they'll be coming back with new technology. Every time they come back, their show is like 10 years ahead of everyone else's. Takes 10 years to catch up with them.
It's like Tron.
Yeah. So they're really already from the future, in a sense. So a lot of bands, a lot of artists, David Bowie was a prime example of it, very early adopters of technology. Whatever happened, the internet, he was on it before anyone else.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of the technologies are only, primarily for very kind of advanced artists right now, but then they become democratized, easier to use, cheaper to use, and then they kind of get mass produced. Like projection mapping was very kind of cool about 7 years ago. No one really understood it. Now it's on The Voice and X Factor and it's just a projector and some computer graphics. There's no barrier to entry, so anyone can essentially make that. Holograms are a little bit more difficult, but again, there'll be a technology where suddenly, you can 3D scan yourself with a $300 peripheral, and you're suddenly a hologram.
That doesn't seem too out of bounds, actually, to think about.
Coming fast. That's coming soon. Yeah.